Another pregnancy test. And again, a single line. It looked more like an exclamation mark or an upside-down minus sign as it flew straight into the trash can. Christina had been trying for years to get pregnant and give her husband, a successful banker, an heir, but nothing worked. They tried everything. Treatments, specialists, spiritual trips, even old folk rituals. And still, official medicine couldn't find any reason why the couple couldn't conceive. It felt like some cruel joke of fate. Christina, whom everyone called Tina, was close to giving up. A week after the last test, she finally decided to consult a doctor again. A tiny spark of hope appeared. What if the test had been wrong? Besides, she clearly remembered the moment she and her husband had been intimate. For the first time in years, not at night, but in the middle of the day. She felt something unusual then. Or maybe she was just imagining it. But going to a private elite clinic was out of the question. People from her husband's circle would definitely talk. So she went to a regular women's health center. They gave her a referral for an ultrasound, and she booked an appointment at a diagnostic clinic. She didn't tell anyone. She didn't want to hear another disappointed sigh from her husband or mother-in-law. When the doctor printed out the ultrasound image, Tina stared at it, unable to understand what exactly indicated pregnancy. Seeing her confusion, the specialist took a pen and carefully circled a bright, bumpy shape on the dark background. Here, that's a baby's head. This is the back. And this is the umbilical cord. Tina stared at the image, wide-eyed. This can't be real. They were finally going to have a baby. A tiny life was already growing inside her. She looked at the doctor, eyes shining, almost ready to throw her arms around him, but he gently held up his hands in defense. Congratulations. Now you need to register your pregnancy and follow all recommendations. Tina practically flew home, imagining how happy everyone would be. She wanted to call her mom immediately, to plan a celebratory dinner, to share the news, but she never got the chance. At the traffic light, right before turning into their gated community, she saw her husband's convertible drive out of the state. In the passenger seat sat his red-haired assistant, a gorgeous young woman. The car paused before entering the main road, and at that exact moment, the secretary leaned over her and locked her plump lips with Victor's, smiling, radiant. Then the convertible drove off, carefree. Tina couldn't move. A black SUV behind her started honking, but she just stared at the disappearing car. At home, everything was spotless. The bed, perfectly made. The towels in the bathroom dry. No strange perfume lingering in the air. No forgotten hairpins on the floor. He really knows how to cover his tracks, Tina thought bitterly. Clearly, Victor had hoped she wouldn't come home early. Or he simply no longer cared to hide anything. Standing in the middle of their bedroom, she didn't know what hurt worse, the betrayal, or the realization that nothing she said would matter. What could you even talk about with someone who cheats and lies? She felt stupid for ever believing in their perfect marriage. And now even a long-awaited baby seemed like some cruel twist of fate. Wiping her tears, Tina packed her things, ordered a taxi, and asked to be taken to the train station. Her hometown hadn't changed at all. Same old two-story houses, same empty fields, the same wooden riverfront along the narrow little river. She hadn't been here for years, not since she left for college. Her mom had always visited Tina instead. First at the dorms, later at the fancy suburban house. Walking down her old street, Tina suddenly realized she hadn't warned her mother she was coming. But her mom was already hurrying toward her. "Oh, honey, what are you doing here?" she exclaimed, hugging her tightly. "Mom, I'll explain everything later. Where are you going?" "To the store." "Go home. The door's open." Christina walked into the dim entrance of the building. It was still as dark as ever. Turning the corner, she bumped into a tall man in a tracksuit coming down from the second floor. "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you," she apologized. "No worries. Looks like I'm the one rushing." He laughed lightly. "Let me help. Where should I carry the bag?" "Second floor, please." He suddenly froze, then turned sharply. "Tina? Seriously? It's me, Stas." He grinned. "I thought your voice sounded familiar. It's so dark here you can't recognize anyone. You've changed so much, in a good way, of course." He set down the suitcases, grabbed an armful of her bags, and in a few quick jumps was already halfway to her mother's apartment. "Wait." Christina stopped him, seeing that Stas was about to leave. "Let's at least talk for a minute." "Sure," he smiled, hopping up onto the stair railing and looking at her. "So, how's the job market in your city? Is it possible to find something decent? So you're not here just for a visit?" Stas raised his brows. "Well, honestly, it's tough. Some openings pop up, but the pay isn't great. People get by however they can. Small town, not a lot of money floating around." He shrugged. "But I did buy a car wash recently. Plenty of clients. We work nonstop. But it's not really a job for women," he added with a grin. "I figured." Christina nodded. "I came straight from the train station by taxi. Maybe they'd hire me? I'm a good driver." "Sure, I can ask around. The guys that know everyone." At that moment, someone called from downstairs. "Stas, hold on, let me help." He ran down to the first floor, grabbed the heavy bags from Christina's mom, and delivered them to the door within seconds. "You're still the same kind-hearted angel," Tina said with a tired smile. "Thank you. Come visit us sometime." "I definitely will. Tonight, maybe," he said, waved goodbye, and ran down the stairs. They'd lived in this building since childhood, gone to the same school. Stas was 2 years older, always treating Tina like a little sister, protecting her from bully boys and stray dogs. When Christina was in 9th grade, he left for college in the regional capital. They hadn't seen each other since. A few years ago, Stas's mother lost her eyesight, so he had to return home to take care of her. He had no siblings. But Christina did. Her sister Tanya, a mother of several kids, lived in another part of town and rarely visited their mom. Tina called her, said she had come back home. Tanya gasped for a long time, scolding Victor for letting such a wonderful wife slip away. Then she promised to come over and talk things through in detail. Tina sighed. That was it. The only people she truly wanted to see. Anyone else in this town she had no desire even to meet. No, not quite everyone. She still needed to see one more person, Dr. Nargiz Alamovna, who worked at the Women's Health Clinic, the one who could issue a referral for a pregnancy termination. She couldn't delay much longer. She was already at 6 weeks. At lunch, Tina told her mother briefly about her husband's betrayal, but kept silent about the pregnancy. Her mom would definitely try to persuade her to keep the baby, and Tina wasn't ready for that conversation. After eating, she headed to the city hospital. In the afternoon, only 2 women were waiting outside Dr. Alamovna's office, so Tina got in quickly. The doctor recognized her instantly. She had treated Christina years ago when Tina's cycle wouldn't stabilize. "Well, sweetheart, tell me how you're doing. Are you married? Kids? Anyone new in your life?" Normally, Christina would shut down at such questions, but not with this doctor. Unable to hold it in anymore, Tina burst into tears. The doctor stood up, gently hugged her, and soothed her. "Hush, child, calm down. Tell me what happened." Through tears, Tina finally said, "I couldn't get pregnant for 4 years, and now when I finally did, I had to leave my husband. Please, please give me a referral." The doctor sat her down and returned to her desk. "Listen to me," she said softly but firmly. "Think about what you're asking. You want to become a mother for 4 years. And now, when life finally gave you the chance, you want to end it." She shook her head. "The baby isn't to blame for what his father did. And you know that. Don't take a life because of his mistakes." Tina whispered, "It's not even a baby yet, just a tiny speck. That speck, as you call it, already is a heartbeat," the doctor said gently. "Blood flow, and most importantly, a living soul. Would you be able to harm a tiny, helpless newborn chick? One that barely even looks like a bird yet? Of course not. And this is a human being, your child. The only one who will ever love you more than anyone else." Dr. Alamovna always spoke simply, but each word hit right in the heart. Christina listened to her reasoning, but inside she battled a storm. Fear, guilt, and something that felt almost selfish. "And who knows how your life will turn out?" the doctor continued gently. "You're still young. You might meet a good, reliable man. You might want to have a child with him someday. And what then? Who would want me with a baby already?" Christina whispered. "My dear," the doctor said firmly, "my final word, I won't give you a referral. I don't want to take part in something so wrong." She pulled out Christina's file. "I'll register you for prenatal care. You'll come in once a week. You'll carry this baby. You'll give birth." She added the ultrasound report, filled out some forms, handed Christina a lab slip. "Believe me, Christina," she said softly, "this is the right choice." Tina left the clinic with swollen eyes, overwhelmed. She couldn't imagine how to build a new life alone with a baby, how to tell her mom or sister, how to deal with the questions from nosy neighbors. As she walked, a dark thought crossed her mind. Maybe there were other ways to end the pregnancy. Herbs? Pills? Something women used to use secretly. She didn't think about consequences. She just wanted escape. A short honk snapped her out of her thoughts. Stas's car slowed beside her. "Want a ride?" he asked. Tina nodded. Maybe a little distraction would help her think straight. "You okay?" "You look pale," he said, glancing at the hospital building. "Just not feeling well," she deflected. "Where to? Remember Cafe Oasis? Where we celebrated graduation." Stas laughed and sped up. The town streets were unexpectedly crowded. Buses, taxis, delivery trucks, grocery vans, even big semis from corporate chains. "I don't remember traffic ever being this crazy here," Tina admitted. "Everyone wants to live like people in bigger cities," Stas smirked. "Taking shifts, buying cars on credit, Hyundai, Renault, whatever they can get. And plenty of new stores opened up. Actually, cashier jobs are almost always available." Tina stayed silent. Next to Stas, her childhood protector, she felt oddly calm. For a moment, she even forgot she needed a job, needed a plan, needed a whole new life. For a dangerous moment, she imagined just driving with him anywhere, but she quickly shook off the thought. No, as long as she carried this weight inside her, she couldn't even think about any new relationship. The old cafe looked completely different now. Polished floors, stylish wooden tables, a new bar counter. Guess things aren't so bad in this town, she thought, watching Stas order. The waiter brought a tray with a Greek salad, 2 kinds of sushi, soy sauce, pickled ginger, Bakesea base, and Coke. "I'll bring dessert in a moment," he said politely. You know, Tina smiled, accepting her plate, suddenly realizing how starving she was. "This place is actually really nice." "Yeah, you can eat well here," Stas agreed. "I rarely cook at home anyway." "You're still not married?" she asked. "No," he said, looking her straight in the eyes. "Never found someone who felt like mine. Like you. You still think of me that way?" Tina asked quietly. "Then why did you leave for college without even calling? Without writing? You don't know?" He chuckled sadly. "You always treated me like I was just an add-on, a free bodyguard. So I decided to wait. Let time sort out." Tina traced her finger along the rim of her glass. She remembered herself at 17, silly, blind, immature. Back then, she saw Stas as strong and kind, but clumsy, not stylish, not charming like other guys. He didn't dance, didn't say sweet lines, wasn't smooth. She never saw him as anything more than a loyal protector. But now, he was fit, confident, running in the mornings, running his own business. He had grown into the kind of man she would have noticed instantly if life had gone differently. Who am I now? Tina thought bitterly. A woman abandoned, a divorced nobody, a single mom with a baby on the way. Her dark thoughts were interrupted by Stas's cheerful voice. "Tinka, hey, let's not drag the past out again. You can start life from a clean slate, you know? What do you think?" Only then did she notice a small velvet box in his hands, the kind that could only hold one thing, a ring. Stas caught her look and immediately flipped it open. "Okay, I won't lie," he began honestly. "Your mom told me you left your husband, and I'm really glad you did. And before you start batting those pretty eyes at someone else, I want to ask you first." He took a breath. "Christina, marry me. I promise to love you and protect you for the rest of my life." Tina covered her face with her hands, her shoulders trembling. "Oh no, don't cry." Stas panicked. He could never handle women's tears. I can't, Stas," she whispered through sobs. "I didn't just leave him. I'm pregnant. I went to the doctor today. I tried to get a referral for termination, but she refused. Who will want me now?" Stas pulled a clean handkerchief from his pocket and gently wiped her tears. "It's okay. It's the right thing. Ending a child's life, no, that would have been wrong. Come on, let's go home. Rest. Think. We'll talk tomorrow." Meanwhile, at the banker's estate, Victor's glamorous assistant Alla was already acting like the new lady of the house, giving orders to the staff, using Christina's car, planning her future honeymoon. Victor, still stunned by his wife's silent departure, eventually realized this outcome actually suited him. He never liked emotional scenes, and the only reason he hadn't discussed divorce with Tina earlier was fear of crying and drama. With Tina gone, everything became simpler. She had left the house. In his mind, that was practically the first step toward freedom. He even remembered a convenient law. If a spouse doesn't live at a residence for 6 months, the other can file for divorce without their consent. He just had to wait. Alla, however, wanted to become the official lady of the house as soon as possible. She picked out a chic business dress and matching heels specifically for the court hearing. They arrived early and kept glancing at the door, awaiting Tina. Finally, she entered, holding a baby carrier. Victor's eyes widened. What is this supposed to mean? The hearing had to be postponed. The situation was more complicated than expected. from all their shared assets. The only thing legally belonging to Tina was the car Victor gifted her for their first anniversary. Everything else would remain with Victor, if not for one detail: the child. Because he was under a year old, the law required the father to provide him a share, including real estate. Alla, realizing she was about to lose part of her future kingdom, clung to Victor. Do something. He clenched his jaw, fuming, but said nothing. The judge then added, in this case, since there's a child under 1 year old, Victor cannot be the one initiating the divorce. Then I will initiate it, Tina said calmly. During the break, Victor caught up to her as she stepped out to feed the baby. Why didn't you tell me you were pregnant? He hissed. Because I saw you and Alla kissing in the convertible, she answered coldly. And I'm not giving you the divorce. You won't win, he shot back. Oh, I already have, she said confidently. Her attorney was Stas, and with him by her side, she wasn't afraid anymore. When the court finally announced a ruling, Tina kissed her sleeping son's nose. Now I can finally be at least somewhat calm about your future, she whispered. Then she looked at Stas and smiled. Well, as we agreed, straight to the registry office.